Hello, you've tuned into the Administrators Table. I'm Bristol Town Administrator Steve Contente. Today is Tuesday, June 18th. Today we have a very special show. We have 4 guests. We're going to start with our first guest, which the topic relates to our ferry services. As some of you may know, we have two ferries now in Bristol, going back to our original roots in Bristol, a seaport, and something that we're very proud of. At this point, I'd like to introduce Captain Ethan Rossi from the Prudence Island Ferry Company, A&R Marine, and we're lucky to have Julie Oakley with Rhode Island DOT. She's a project manager, helping us with a number of projects in Bristol. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks. Ethan, tell us a little bit about the service you provide in Bristol Harbor.
Yeah, right. So we are operating right out of Thames Street down on the docks. We run about 5 times a day. We provide the Lifeline service to Prudence Island for residents. So we run 7 days a week, 365 all year round. We're the major connection for the people to get their resources, groceries, and get their vehicles back and forth. We have 2 ferries. One small ferry that we run in the wintertime, holds about 9 vehicles. Then we put on a larger car passenger ferry in the summer, bumps it up to about 20 vehicles, and each hold 150 passengers.
Now, your summer population increases, right?
Yeah, so the population on the island goes from about 150 people in the wintertime that are year-round residents, and it swells to about 3,000 in the summer. Mostly weekend rentals and summer rentals over there. Yeah.
Very good. So a lot of those people that are visiting Prudence Island, they stop at Bristol, right?
Yeah, everybody comes through Bristol. The Prudence Island has had a strong connection to the town of Bristol for, we're going back 50 plus years, it's, myself, I've been commuting to Bristol my whole life, and I'm a born and raised Prudence Islander.
Now, did you go to the one-room schoolhouse on the island?
Yeah, I did. Yep. So growing up, I lived on a farm, and I went from the farm to the one-room schoolhouse on Prudence Island, K through 4. After 4th grade, we rode the ferry to Bristol, hopped on a bus, went to Portsmouth for school for the day. Then, same thing on the way back to Bristol, back to Prudence Island, back home every day. Yeah.
Lifestyle. Yeah, I can tell you, I do admire your work ethic and your brothers and your family. I see that, and I see you out there working every day.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty neat. So regardless of what the weather is, right through the worst storms, it seems like you guys are running.
That's right. Ferry's got to run. Yep. People have to get home, and being from Prudence Island, we all have ties. We all understand exactly how important this service is. So we're happy to provide it for those Prudence Islanders.
And so is Bristol. Thank you. It's really an honor to host the ferry in Bristol, and which we got so much to talk about with what's going on down there with the dock improvements, and then the new high-speed ferry that's coming into Bristol. And the best thing about it, and speaking as a Bristol resident, is we're really not increasing a lot of traffic. A lot of what we're seeing is with the high-speed ferry, that's people visiting Bristol by vessel and keeping the cars off the highways, yet exploring Bristol. So it's a real great thing. Ethan, you said you run 2 boats out of Bristol Harbor. Captain Herbert
Bonner. Yeah. So that's our summer vessel. We run 1 at a time. So we'll have in our off season, we'll say January to March, we'll run a smaller ferry boat, holds a lot less people. We have a lot lower ridership in the wintertime. That's the Prudence Ferry.
I didn't tell you, but I try to keep a low profile at times. But my wife and I, and me and our children, we took a trip on the Prudence Ferry just to get out on the water last summer. Right. And actually, we took some nice pictures. It was nice. We were there. I think we're on the island for about 15 minutes. And
if you went in the afternoon, usually there's about a 15 or a half-hour turnaround depending on the ferries.
The kids cast some rocks in the water, and then we turn around. But it was really nice. And I'll tell you, the vessel, the Bonner, it was very neat and tidy and orderly, and you guys keep a tight ship. It's pretty neat.
Absolutely, yep. It's very
so
important.
You're running other special events that?
Yeah. So aside from maintaining the 5 runs a day schedule from Bristol to Prudence Island, We also have we've started event charters where people can set up with our office and book the ferry to bring them on either a sunset cruise on a Saturday or a Sunday brunch cruise midday on a Sunday. It's really unique out of Bristol. You know, you can park there. You essentially can set up the vessel how you like for the time that you're out there. We've had people doing bachelor parties, birthday parties, corporate events.
Yeah.
We have in July, we're excited about Narragansett Beer has sponsored a cruise that's going to be open to the public, so you can buy tickets. And
where could they find the public
information's all on our website. Yeah.
Okay.
pi-ferry.com. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And that cruise, it all benefits Clean Ocean Access. Which
you know,
is
we
really
we
good
have
program.
a lot of good memories in Bristol, Warren, East Bay region when we had the Bay Queen.
Yeah. Right.
And when when they stopped service, there was a little bit of a void. So it looks like
So
right here
in the spirit
Bristol.
of that, that's what we're trying to
Yeah.
do. Keep that going
I-
at some capacity.
Yeah, I think you guys are on a really good plan here, and I definitely see a need for that. You know, right now Bristol has 5 wedding destinations, and from what we're hearing, people are looking for attractions, things to do. They're looking for nice restaurants and good things to eat. So we got it going on, and we're only going to increase that type of business in Bristol,
Yeah, right.
which is good for us that live here. Julie.
Hi.
Thank you again for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And again, I said it earlier, you know, your division has done so much for Bristol lately. Most people don't know it, but you're managing the grant. It's a $1.1 million grant. You're overseeing the finances for the town of Bristol, essentially.
Yes.
So it was a federal grant to I need to thank Senator Reed, Jack Reed, for helping us with that Prudence Island dock grant. Most people don't know it, but the dock was in rough shape. It was actually undermining. The sheet piling on the north wall had eroded over the years, so the actual dock itself was being undermined and washed out with the tide. So we're prepared to start that construction right after Labor Day, day after Labor Day. The bid was awarded to a contractor, so with DOT's help, Steve Devine from DOT, he's really helped us put the finances together, and we're on track to get our dock fixed, which is huge.
Yeah, we're very excited to be assisting with that, and we're happy to help with the federal requirements, which sometimes can be challenging. So it's been really a great working relationship thus far, and we're excited to help you guys out. So.
Right. You know, sometimes success is key to success is surrounding yourself with people that are very much smarter than you, and I admit that's something I've learned to do.
Right.
Julie, but one of the main reasons why I invited you here, and thank Director Alvidi also for allowing you to appear today. The remarkable event that we held recently was the first trip of the high-speed ferry, the Sea Streak, to Bristol.
Yes.
At the State Street dock. We had that recently. And you know, it was really a great time. A lot of excitement. You know, we even, how can you not have fun with the high school band being there?
I know, they did a great job. It was wonderful. It was wonderful to have
Chris
them.
Albert is our regional high schools band director, and Chris does a great job. So that was on short notice that this was put together. And Chris put the high school band. We got them on buses, and it was fun.
They did a great job.
Thanks to the kids from Mount Hope High School also.
Yeah.
So the high-speed ferry, it's here in Bristol on
is.
weekends right now.
It
So
is.
far, successful.
Yes.
And my hope is that we promote this. DOT has helped us with some tools here to help our local economy.
Yes.
And help us through next year's bridge closure on Hope Street, which is during the summertime. So I really think with the high-speed ferry, bringing in people on foot to the downtown area, and some other adjustments we're going to make with potentially a trolley service downtown, I think we're going to fare very well. So I'm optimistic. You know, one of the things I like to say all the time is keep your head up and push forward. And I think that's where we're at right now with help of other agencies and whoever's willing to help us.
Yeah. Well, Bristol is a great place. I mean, it's been a wonderful place to, I think, expand the Providence to Newport ferry. So we've done it for about 4 years now, or this is our 4th year. And when we first set out, it was to try and find new ways to utilize Narragansett Bay. When our new administration came in and Director Alviti came in, it was how could we use the bay for transportation, not just recreation. And so we assessed, kind of what ferry service was there, maybe where there might have been some gaps or previous services that had just been discontinued, and then what coastal towns were ready to welcome a service like that. So obviously we started with Providence and Newport, and we slowly expanded over the years, and we included last year our first trip to Bristol, which was for the 4th of July parade, and it was a huge success. And this year we were thinking, how could we grow from that initial success of the parade? And that's when we came forth and proposed the idea of having weekend service here. And the State Street Pier is a wonderful place to have the vessel. And it doesn't impact the Lifeline service, which is key. We have to work together in order to make the ferry services run smoothly together and in a coordinated effort in the bay. And having that available and a ready resource really made the expansion, I think, seamless at this point in time. So we're really excited to be in Bristol. We really want to encourage everybody to either come into Bristol. The location literally being a block or two away from downtown is like, you can't find that nearly any place else, really. And having that access in Bristol and Providence and Newport is really, I think, what's going to be a key to success. And we're working with local businesses, so if anybody's interested in providing a benefit to come to their establishment to ferry riders, we have 7 businesses in Bristol that have already signed up. That a card is given to every ferry passenger that then they can use and take to businesses to potentially get a discount or some other offer. And we're really looking to find those great relationships and work with the town, Commerce, ourselves at RIDOT to market this service to be a huge success. So we're really excited for what's to come.
Yeah, that's great, Julie. And again, thank you so much to DOT. A friend had texted me recently, and they said they were on Route 295, and they saw one of those construction signs, a DOT construction sign that said ferry service available to Bristol, Rhode Island.
Yes.
It was kind of cool. But Bristol definitely has some neat things and attractions to see. Like I said, we have some really great museums. America's Cup Hall of Fame,
Yes.
Herzog's Museum, Linden Place. There's plenty of places to go. Right next to the town hall is a really neat building. It's the Bristol Historical Society. It's an actual jail. If you go in the back, you can see where the warden lived, and then the jail cells are in the back. So there's some really neat things to explore in Bristol.
That's great.
So, well, other than that, we have other guests on today. We have Jose De Silva from our wastewater treatment facility, and again, as I said earlier, infrastructure is really important to us, so I wanted to get a little bit of time with Jose and Beta Engineering. But thanks for being here on the show. I know the public can get additional information regarding the high-speed ferry. Where, Julie?
They can go to www.ridethebayri.com, and we have a little poster here that's been given to the town of Bristol that they can use to market the ferry. And you can also go to cstreet.com, who's the ferry provider.
And again, Julie, thank you so much. And Captain,
thank you.
Be safe in your voyages. And if there's anything we can do to help you here at the town of Bristol, please don't be afraid to ask. Thank you again, both of you. We'll be right back with our next guest. Welcome back. With me now are our sewer treatment facility director, Jose De Silva, and Chris Cronin, engineer with the Beta Group, who assists the town with consulting services for our wastewater treatment facility. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Jose, you've been working for the town of Bristol, a lifelong resident of Bristol for quite a few years. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Like you said, I'm a lifelong resident. I've been with the town now for some 28 years. Started with the department at the bottom and slowly worked my way up. I'm now running it for the last 7 years. It's quite a daunting task because most people don't realize what we have infrastructure-wise. Somewhere of 90 miles of piping that we're in the collection system responsible for, with 11 pump stations that gathers all the material, brings it to the facility. We treat it with all the infrastructure that we have, a lot of equipment, and then we take that, make a product, bring it up to the closed landfill, and mix it with yard waste to make a compost The Class A biosolids, we're the only facility in the state that does that and produces it.
Great, and that's with a, you don't have a very large staff at the sewer department itself, at the plant. I think it's six operators.
6 operators, myself, the chemist, pretreatment coordinator, and the secretary. And up at compost, we have 6 employees, broken down into 2 parts. 3 collection, curbside collection of the yard waste, and then the other 3 is the foreman, the assistant foreman, and a heavy equipment operator.
Okay, so compost, what's unique about composting in Bristol, I think there's only 2 facilities in the state of Rhode Island that composts yard waste in the sludge, which is the byproduct from the sewer plant.
Yes,
right?
the West Warwick was doing it, but they had to then denitrify, and they were in a small facility, and they needed the footprint, so they no longer do it. You have the state Johnston landfill, they are doing it to a point now, and then we ourselves.
Right.
So
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but so the compost material, that's less that we have to actually bury and be charged for up at the central landfill. Right?
correct. When I first started, the landfill was functioning. We would call, when we had a truck that was filled after dewatering the material, we'd call the DPW, they'd dig a hole, we'd bring it up, back it up, bury it, and be done with it. When I went to a transfer station, the administrator at the time, there was a lot of discussion, Beta was brought in. What are we going to do with this material? What can we do with it? We would have had to do a large capital infrastructure. We would have had to change the process a bit and send it to an incinerator, and we would have been at the mercy of the incinerating company, what they would charge, the trucking fees, so on. Like I say, about 25 years ago, that administrator went and saw that in Europe they do composting with it. And we saw an opportunity, we went with it, and it's been a great opportunity and it's been successful.
You know, one of the reasons why I thought it was really important to have you here on the show, there is so much to our wastewater and our waste and so forth, and there's a lot of information that just isn't out there. You know, I'm still learning. You know, I'm still learning every time I go to the facility. I ask about a different element of the process, and but it really is remarkable of how much work you can actually get done. You're taking the raw materials from a discharge, and in the end, it's we have to put it out into the Bristol Harbor. So it's quite a process. Another misconception out there when I talk to people, they seem to think that regular storm drains that you see with the inlets for stormwater, rainwater, are connected to our sewer system, that it's a combined system.
Yep. In the industry, and wastewater industry, there are 2 types of sewer systems, combined and sanitary. Bristol has a sanitary system, meaning that your plumbing from your homes, toilets, sinks, dishwashers and such, that are going down the pipe is eventually making it to us, and we're treating it. And engineers like Chris here at Beta, they'll take that information by population and they'll size and model the facility we need.
Right.
So a lot of it works on detention time. The flow will come in, and because we have a population of say 23,000 people, it would take this much time for that water to stay in this treatment section and then move on to the next one. If it was a combined system, every time that rained, that would throw all those calculations off.
Right.
So instead of being at 3 million, it'll jump up to 10 million, and it happens now, but for the wrong reasons. It's inflow and infiltration, excess groundwater and sump pumps and connections and cracked pipes. If the water table's high enough, it'll come in and it'll show up there.
Right. And I have to apologize for you know, compelling you to give us all this information in such a small amount of time, because I think we're going to have you back on another episode. But you did talk about rainwater, one of the great projects that we're doing right now. And listen, our goal is to have no violations. We want our harbor, our bay, and our waters to be as clean as we possibly can get them. So our goal and my commitment as the administrator is continue to invest into the infrastructure. That's your facility, your personnel, getting those lines cleaned out daily, and eliminating the, as you said, I&I, inflow and infiltration of groundwater, rainwater into our system, which causes the overflows into the bay.
Causes a lot of problems.
Right. So today I've invited Chris Cronin. Chris, thank you again for being here. Chris is a professional engineer, and you're helping us get through a couple of major projects, a few of them already within the last couple of years. One of them is the drainage project at the wastewater treatment facility. Wastewater treatment facility for the public is on Plant Avenue, Wood Street, where Ferry Road is. The facility's up in there, but it's prone to flooding. So Chris, can you tell us about the project there?
Yeah, first, Steve, thank you for having me here today, and thank you for taking an interest in the wastewater infrastructure. It's not common for someone in your position with so many things to do to take an interest in the wastewater infrastructure. In Bristol is not unlike many communities where it's aging and requires attention. And by attention, I mean...
I don't want to interrupt you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, but I want to thank the people of Bristol in all of these projects at the wastewater treatment facility. As difficult as it is to add fees and increase taxes, all of the infrastructure improvements to the system is paid for through the sewer use fee, which is a little over $500 right now a year for the entire system, to operate that system. So the projects that you talk about, they're all funded. We don't have any grant money for these sewer projects. We're on our own. The people of Bristol, we're on our own to keep our water clean. And we want to do the best we can with those limited amount of public funds and that we're trusted with. So there's a couple of great projects that we're doing. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, that's okay. The people of Bristol have been great, and the couple of projects that I'm going to talk about impacts the public through construction. It's disruptive, it's noisy, and the residents of Bristol who are in close proximity to the work have been great. They've been patient, they understand the need for the work, and that's in large part due to the message that Jose and yourself have been getting out. One of the first projects that I'd like to talk about is the drainage improvement project at the wastewater treatment facility. I'm going to go ahead and put this figure up, if I can, for a moment. This is the wastewater treatment facility here. There's a large wetland complex just to the south.
Excuse me, Chris, could you point out where Wood Street is, just for the viewers at home?
Yeah, sure. So Wood Street is here, and Hope Street is here. Okay. So Plant Avenue is in pretty close proximity to that intersection here. So again, here's the wastewater treatment facility. There's a large wetland complex that exists on the south side of the treatment facility, and during the springtime, when the ground is frozen and there's intense rainfalls, and as we're all aware that the rainfall is becoming more intense and more frequent, and what it was doing was inundating that wetland complex, and the runoff that this couldn't hold would run onto the plant. And I've got some photos here of the conditions that existed prior to our project. And up in the upper section here in the top left corner of the board is just meant to show the amount of water that's coming into the facility during the storm, which I think was in 2010 or 2010?
2010.
So the water was flowing onto the property, coming in, and as you can see here, it's impacting the facility equipment. It was inundating the equipment, rendering those motors inoperable and sacrificing treatment at the facility. So what this project did was we constructed an earthen berm along the facility property, as you can see here in the top right-hand corner. And the primary goal was to prevent it from coming onto the property. And what we did is we installed some drainage infrastructure along the wetland side of the berm, and those structures are set above grade, like 6 inches, so that we're not depleting the wetland resource itself.
Now, Chris, I'm sorry to...
No, please.
But the wetlands next door have a easement, right? There's a conservation easement there. So I wish to take this time to thank the Williams family who own that property, working with us to allow us to do this. Yeah. The overall mission is to improve the environment. So,
Right.
thank you.
And so once the water level rises to a point where it starts entering the drainage structures, it would be conveyed out through Fairview Drive, Ferry Road, and then down to Walker Cove through a couple of easements that we have down here, down at the Walker Cove section. And this is just a photograph of the new outfall, which we worked with CRMC and Rhode Island DEM to get that outfall permitted.
So that's fresh rainwater that is being diverted from overflowing our facility. So travelers and neighbors might be wondering where all that construction has been on Ferry Road the last couple of years. We're in good shape now. We have a new water main on Ferry Road. The gas main was replaced not that long ago. DOT just replaced and repaired storm drains there. We did this drainage project. So can you tell us about the final road paving for Fairview and Ferry Road?
Yeah, no, I'm sure that the people of Bristol have been anticipating finalizing that roadway reconstruction. And the good news is that we're getting closer to that point. As you just mentioned, the DOT is out there currently repairing a drain in the vicinity of Griswold Avenue that goes across Ferry Road. That's going to settle for like 60 days. And then paving is scheduled for the fall of this year.
Fall of this year.
Fall of this year. That was a
2019,
long way
Ferry
to get
Road,
there.
curb to curb.
Curb to curb.
Okay. Between that getting paved and sections of Metacom Avenue getting paved and rebuilt, I think we're gaining on it. Chris, one other project I wanted to talk about today, because we're in the middle of it, it's the dig and replace of sewer mains. Maybe, Jose, you can talk a little bit about it first.
Sure.
And Chris, chime in.
That area there was built in the 1960s. The pond there, the structure of the wetlands, not the wetland, but the land that has the moisture in it, a lot of the sewer has sags and such. In this lower right-hand picture, you can see because the piping is not pitched correctly, you had grease accumulation and such. Right. And the condition of that piping in that area is very much in bad repair, so that is why the cause of that project, just to improve the flow of everything in that area.
So the list is, Robin, do you have a list with you, Chris?
Steve, if you don't mind, I'll put up this figure here that kind of
we got about 30 seconds
30
left,
seconds.
unfortunate.
So this is the, what I call the Leahy Pond neighborhood. And the areas, the streets that we've been working on are Soames Drive, Sweeney Lane, Primrose Road, Rosedale Drive, Fernwood Road, and Robin Drive.
And once the pipes are replaced, road paving would be when?
We're shooting for the fall of this year as well.
For the fall.
Yeah,
okay.
about the same time as that Ferry Road restoration is going to go on. We anticipate this project will receive restoration as well.
Great. Gentlemen, we're about time, out of time, and I want to thank all of you at home for tuning in to the administrators table. Be well, enjoy your 4th of July, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lisa Coble from Newport Hospital Volunteer Services. We're always looking for great people to join our volunteer team, so contact us soon and learn about the exciting opportunities for you as a volunteer at Newport Hospital.